Thank you so much to TREE, to their board of directors, to Colin and to Deanna for honoring me as being one of the 2015 local lights. It's so wonderful to be in Margaret's company and to read with Carolyn Smart as well. Thanks so much for being here. Is the mic okay? Everyone can hear? I would like to start with a nature poem and finish with a nature poem, if Deanne could give me a little signal at 5 minutes, because I think it's important to honor and acknowledge the Paris climate change talks. I mean, just getting all those countries together, it's so important. We each have a personal responsibility, but governments do too, and I really hope they step up. Gyre, after Camille Martin's Bach's sonnets. And if the molecules, and if one binds to that other on the water's currents spin in the oceans that are one water, are not empty, but open swirls to all our detritus. And when the plastic sun-kissed bits, pink as plankton and red as shrimp, or masked as krill, and the entropy, if the fish, and if the birds eat the fish, and if the birds feed their young, and the young die with red bottle caps stuck in their bellies, and if the rot of the dead chicks is washed by rain, is pushed to the wash, to the creek, to the sea, and the cap kills over, and the compounds, the bisphenol A in the cap, in the cauldron, and the sea soup mix, an open mouth where the gyre spins in the Pacific, and the Atlantic, and the rest of the one ocean, and if we eat the fish, and if the molecules. I had the pleasure of doing a one-day workshop with the beautiful and amazing elder Maria Campbell, one of the first modern Aboriginal women writers. And when she arrived at our home for the workshop, she said, "Oh, I'm so glad it's snowing, because now I have permission to tell you the winter stories." And we have had a bit of snow. Yes, it's gone, but I'm going to tell you a winter story. Bobsled. Pa and Uncle Lou built us a two-piece bobsled and painted it the same sky blue as Baby Boo Boo's wooden rocking swan. One cold morning, 8 kids, including Mimi and Jojo, our cousins, piled into the red Volkswagen with fake bronze medals, mileage awards, frozen to the shaking dashboard, and sputtered our way to 2 Mile Hill in Astorville. Lecture and lessons given, mittens tucked in, the kids piled on. Jittery with the thrill of fear, holding tight to leather strap loops nailed to slippery sides, scarves thin and sleek as healed scars against white sky. First, 1 push, then 2, and Uncle Lou heaved us off the top, gulping air, stomachs lurching. Suddenly we knew why speed was the enemy of mothers. Legs stretched and pretzeled round the soft comfort of someone's coat in front. We screamed delight and defiance. "Lean," yelled my father. "Lean." Too far, too far. I fell, somersault in white, soft landing. Afterwards, alone in quiet lull and sheet-white furrows left by our passing, I could see the sled train leaving, shedding kids along the way, snaking down the curving hill, my father getting smaller and smaller, but closer to the same lone house, white with black trim, that was his as a child. The snow fell very softly. Thank you. Come on in, come on down. How old are you? Because I'm going to read a recreational sex poem. Okay. It's titled Basketball. Love those sports bodies, right? Sweat-soaked gust of wind, back and forth like fetid sex in a room with all the windows closed. The key, watch the key, they keep shouting, but to her, you turn a key. You don't walk inside and around it teasingly, penetrate and withdraw over and over. I need that key to unlock the mystery of your game, she says. He says. Squeaky runners sound like rusted bed springs. Once after practice, they did it on a mat, he economically working out at the same time by doing one-arm push-ups, one arm behind his back, he huffing above her till she said, "Stop," and he did. Then she almost changed her mind, but didn't say so, of course. Something appealing about the rank and feral smell of puffing sponge beneath her, the engorged and trembling bicep just at eye level, and admittedly, that nagging concept, could he actually do 100? I love the notion of strong women. And, sorry. Here's one from the past. Bolins Heart. The cold, the stone-fed cold that covers me is not as cold nor bitter as the winter in my heart. My cheek pressed against the moon's face for comfort, only to know it, too, as a head that rolls slowly across midnight's table. Supper. And I'd swear your laughter reaches me, echoes off the courtyard walls, no music half as sweet nor as painfully discordant. It fades, runnels to the tower floor, and like the rain, pools beside striped moonlight. Such a poor offering, this mal d'esprit. The rat eyes me. I am the hard-boiled egg that cracks the trinity. Your voice, the sectioned light, my broken shell, a shattered sacrifice. Shuck me of its brittle casing, husband. Peel me with your fat thumbs. See there this heart still whole, my king, within its slippery roundness, fecund as the first night you entered it, split it in two, and made it dance with yours. This is a little, actually, I'm just going to go straight to the last one. I had the wonderful opportunity of going to a workshop this past summer with Lorna Crozier. And she is so inspiring and so wonderfully supportive. And I read her the first draft of this poem, and she gave me the title for it, and she said, keep working, I like it, so I'm reading it to you tonight. Now, Lorna was also recently reading at the Nature Conservancy, and it was great. It was good, it was interesting. There's changes and hope for our forests. However, the tone was a bit self-congratulatory. Aren't we doing great? And yes, we are, but so much more can be done. And she spoke up and she said, I hate this term harvesting the forest. You harvest a field. It gets harvested once or twice a season. A forest takes 60 years to grow. And it's not just the forest, it's everything that depends on it, the animals, the mitochondria, the bacteria, and no one had mentioned that. So I was very proud to hear that from her. And this is dedicated to Lorna. Living with the animals. For 2 full nights, they knock on the cabin's roof, not knowing wood's heart petrifies after the felling. Still, they enter and steal the sleep from me, bind my hands with my hair, dream me to their burrow. Like they're young, I hang like a fat comma from the thin line of their mouths, blind, listless, yet aware. The little ones pinch and nip so that I do not roll over and squash them in my languor. The doe, relentless, feeds me hazelnuts, roots, watercress, and wild celery. My appetite is ferocious. And are they raccoons or chipmunks? Maybe otters? It's hard to know. The love is so dark in here. I grow reddish-brown fur to match their coloration. I should fend for myself, but attempts to leave are thwarted. One morning, the mother removes a whelp that died in the night. Hunger ate it whole. I worry, will my new siblings forgive me? But how easily they forget, like where they hid a seed or who bit who, when. When, too, will my mind release ritual and response, tip to some simple instinct, a turn in the season or a drop in the temperature? My nails, black as claws, comb out the dirt from feathers and straw, squish ticks from the kits' white bellies as they chirk and chitter. I learn their gestures, and soon their language. Our mother shushes us when the forest quiets. There's the stillness of the fox and the stealth of the coyote. We listen for the lumbering crash of the bear. King of chaos, he snuffles and roots. The hirsute hackles rising on our backs. There is no peace till he passes. My new mother teaches me to partake of the rumble of thunder and the sacredness of rain. But most days are the sunlit shadows in the trees, the slow incremental push of leaves from bud to hand-sized fan to collective canopy. I learn that birds are the tellers of geography. Soon my mind will paint a picture of the planet in song. When I am too warm in the long days of summer, fresh trout is brought to the nest. My skin is licked for salt, and once the fish scales are nibbled clean, an iridescence gleams on the scalloped walls. And this is our music, our prayer. We sit in a circle, no talking, no chirping. We attend to the slant and the sway of the wave light. Our bones, thick or hollow, thrum to its healing. My mother leads me down a deer run. She insists on the red lantern of the wild columbine. Its yellow light tendrils shower a bee's fat body in pollen. We follow it to a field full of berries where we gorge, toddle off in torpor. On our return, the den smells of sweat and musk, the same scent steam that rises from a basement rec room filled with teenage boys. My pup brothers scrabble and fight. They nick and nudge me in rude places. One night an owl hoots an autumnal tune, and soon there is a frenzy of activity, of gatherings, but I am slothful, sated. I sleep in the sun and fail to warn of the hawk and the eagle. My mother is sad, tells me I am unworthy of the teaching of the trees. She is tired, dopey, or drugged. One winter night that is blue with the moon, she pushes me out of the hollow. I wander and come to the cabin. I read, I work, I travel now. I do not own a pet, nor does a pet own me. I'm told I mewl in my sleep. I remember a trip I took as a child with an elder, a hard man who hunted and fished. He pulled the car over and stood weeping over roadkill. Then he turned toward the forest, and with the stillness of the grandfather, he attended to the trees. Merci. Thank you.